Welcome back, Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. We have Scott as Ornan.
At your service.
Sabrina as Sylvie.
Oh, hello.
Jordan as Magram.
You're most welcome.
Matt as Guy.
That is my name. Don't wear it out.
And me, Paul, as Neldor, the Leonin heir to the Countship of Martin's Rest. I better start practicing my voice for him. Meow, I'm rich.
Meow.
Question, are you a Pahaftma? Want to know if anyone else around you is too? Then go check out our store and you can tell the world that you are one and find out if anyone around you has an aptitude for the magical arts as well by buying our I Am a Pahaftma Are You shirt. And don't forget, we still have buttons. I'm pretty sure that Pine is still in the lead, but it's a close race. Go buy some buttons and you can help your favorite character edge out the competition.
Edge.
Oh, man. It's such a close race.
I was actually going to go in there and say, Edge. Anyway, if you ever swiped some green guy's pants before you murdered him, only to turn around and wear them as a hat, then this podcast is for you. It's Chorus of the Forsaken, episode 35. I'm pretty sure I've done that one before.
Swipe some green guy's pants and then wear them as a hat?
Yes. I think I was more vague this time.
I feel like that's something I should know.
I think the smell of them is so bad that it makes you kind of confused as well.
I have no idea. The only thing I'm coming up with is Ozzy from You wear them as a hat?
Yes.
In
Yes.
Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
The Ozzy pants, you wear them as a hat?
Yes. I was so disappointed. I'm like, cool, I'm going to get Slasher 2, and I'm going to get whatever the other weapon was.
The flea vest.
Yeah, the flea vest.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm going to get the flea vest and Slasher 2 and Ozzy's pants, and I put them on, and I'm like confused, and they're a hat. I was like, verisimilitude was gone at that point. I'm like, I can't wear these pants on my head.
That's just a lack of commitment, man. You just got to go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Anyway. All right. Hey, welcome back to Via Severia and the city of Martin's Rest. Last time we were together, our heroes were gathering some information about the bandits around town. After speaking with some of the people here in the Northside Inn, including Corwin Frostborn, an old associate, wink, wink, of Guy, and learning that the bandits have actually been causing a lot of problems, not just thieving and banditry and burgling and all those other things that kind of are the same thing, robbing and larceny, but also arson and even some murders and some deaths.
Larceny and arsonry.
I've even heard that they've been doing some name calling.
Some light embezzlement.
Yes.
I think all of those jokes were in 2 episodes ago when we were talking about bandits.
Well, this reminds me of way back I had an intro talking about how Ebby was a horsonist because he lit a horse on fire.
It's so dumb.
All right. Anyway, then our heroes decided to go to Martin's Manor to speak with Neldor, the heir of the Martin family, the Count of Martin's Rest. When they arrived at the manor, it was this massive manor on an island in the middle of the river, separated from the rest of Martin's Rest. There are a few other manors there on the island, but Martin's Manor, where the Count lives and where Neldor lives, is the largest one. It has its own private dock with its own ship, and our heroes were let in where they saw in the center of the entry was this ancient rune stone of some kind.
Wait, no, actually, that's the second thing we noticed. First, we noticed a breathtaking woman.
And she was in mourning.
Yes, you did. You noticed the sister of Neldor, who was dressed all in black in mourning. But then you also noticed this runestone, and as Sylvie went to go try to read it and cast a spell, the guard got uncomfortable with the casting of spells here in Martin's Manor and asked you to stop. Then accompanied you to the drawing room where Neldor was going to speak with you. Importantly, as you moved through the hallway, you saw portraits of the Martin family. You saw Mama and Papa Martin. You also saw Neldor, the oldest, the adopted son. And then you saw the sister of Neldor, and her name is Shireen Shadowrose, recently widowed. And then you saw the younger sister, Gwendolyn Martin, who you recognized wearing armor of a paladin of Helm. She was the one whose token was based off of Judy Greer. As you spoke with Neldor in the drawing room, you discussed more about what the bandits were doing. You negotiated payment. In fact, going from 1,000 gold pieces to instead potentially 500 gold pieces and one of these keelboats that has been seized or confiscated by the Martin family because some of these captains of these keelboats have accidentally or knowingly been transporting these bandits across the river. A deal was struck, and you ventured back to Northside Inn, but first you stopped to see this runestone, and Sylvie, using Rosetta Stone, was able to read what was written on this runestone, which indicated about 110 miles south by southeast, and with a very good intelligence check, recognized that that would be somewhere in the middle of Stillwater Lake, which is this massive
Pretty
lake.
sure that was my only good check all night.
Well, it's this massive lake that Mirloff, the capital of Via Severia, rests on its western shore. It's this lake. It's very large. It is called Stillwater Lake. There is always fog or mist on the surface of this lake, obscuring view for any kind of distance across this lake. Then you went back to the Northside Inn, where a couple of perception or insight checks were made, and it was finally determined that Ornan has been cursed for quite some time. You all determined that the sword that he got from Kestrel, the crow of the Ravenstone clan, is very well likely cursed. And after Ornan left the table...
after he got pissy about it.
Yeah, he didn't take it very dignified.
Oh, no, not at all.
Hey, I failed some rolls and I was role playing.
But Ornan was a little bitch about it.
Ornan decided that he wanted to keep the sword and left the table, but discussion was had, and Magram determined that there was potentially something that he could do if he spent some time tonight preparing an item or a potion of some kind to cure Ornan of that curse.
Annelise also volunteered to be a backup in case Magram needed any help.
Yes. So the last thing that happened was Corwin Frostborn, this associate wink of Guy, and Guy faded to black, and everybody else went to bed. And that is where we're starting right now at the Northside Inn in the morning as you all come down for breakfast. It would be an early breakfast because you're supposed to meet Neldor at dawn.
During the night, before I come down, or I guess early in the morning.
Yeah.
Kiss him on the forehead.
Leave a little note on the bed.
Guy sleeps alone. I don't know if you know this, but like with Ryla before.
You kicked him out?
Well, yeah,
Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby.
I don't know if you remember with Ryla. It's like, so you stay the night there? It's like, no, I go back to my own bed. That's just how Guy does. Anyway, Guy will have written a message to Draven Heartwood, if that's okay. Ascending.
Yeah, you can do that. Let me put my thinking cap on. What does the sending say?
Hey, Draven, it's me again. Tell me, how's Diona's bridge this time of year?
Okay.
And for our listeners, if you remember, Diona's bridge is the current name of a town that Guy kind of gleaned from his book that was originally called Cohen's Crossing.
I've heard of Cohen's Crossing before.
You have?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've actually been there.
Didn't you read my backstory? That's where Magram's from.
Yeah.
while you're thinking about this, a little fun story about Cohen's Crossing. So the book, the family is the Covingtons, and Cohen's Crossing and Covington is
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you know, Paul.
Wait a minute. Are you serious? Are you Covington
Yes.
Cross?
It's derived.
Oh my gosh.
It was this medieval show that lasted maybe one season when we were kids, and I was so excited for it. So
I
anyway,
wanted
yeah.
to like it so bad.
Yeah. It was a family drama with knights.
That's amazing.
Okay, so you asked that question. How is Diona's Bridge this time of year? You get a sleepy response.
And you can tell it's sleepy because it's written in my book, but there's little Z's next to it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, you did throw me for a loop. Oh, give me a
Sorry,
second.
man.
No, you're fine. Okay, this is the response that you get. Diona's Bridge? I haven't been there in ages, but perhaps I should go visit my estate. Tell me, where are you?
Up your butt and around the corner.
Hi-oh. Through the tube and out the boob.
Good one.
What in the world is happening right now?
Never heard that one.
Really? That's what we used to say on the playground.
Oh, we say up your butt and around the corner. Oh my
Then the
gosh.
next person's supposed to say through the tube and out the boob.
I have heard that.
I have never heard
I
that.
have never heard
As
that.
is tradition.
Thank you for backing me up, Sabrina.
I'll respond, not too close and not too far. Just wondering if I should make a visit as well.
Okay, you get another response, and the response says, Diona's Bridge is a marvel, and all should see it at least once. Tell me your name, and I'll let my servants know to look for you.
I'll just put just the name, nothing else. Ross Lacrosse.
We are going to get an insight check through your book.
Do I get to do a deception?
Wait, how can he do a sending if he doesn't know who you are?
Well, he's responding to the sending. He's not sending the sending. He's responding to the sending.
And this is all through my book. This isn't the sending spell either. It's kind of a written form of it. As far as deception, I rolled a 9.
Okay.
You mean Ross Lacrosse didn't land well?
Okay, so then the response back is just, okay. We'll keep our eyes peeled, Mr. Lacrosse. And Mr. Lacrosse is in quotes.
All right. That's the end of the messaging. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for being a good sport.
Of course. Of course. All right. Then everybody wakes up. It is a little bit before dawn. How do you guys wake up before dawn? Like what? I've always kind of wondered this. And I know what some people used to do before alarm clocks and that kind of thing. And that's that if they had to get up early, they would just make sure to drink a lot of water the night before, or they'd drink a lot of
I
something the
was
night
going
before.
to say the answer is always urine. There's always urine.
Just such wisdom.
Is that what you guys end up doing? Or do you just let Guy go around and wake everybody up because he only needs 4 hours?
Oh, I 100% want Guy to wake me up.
Okay. Yeah. I'll no problem going around waking everybody up.
Is there still that slight crush for Sylvie and Guy, or is that gone? Because I can just imagine him going to wake up Sylvie, and Sylvie's like, classic like anime cartoon, all snarfy and like a snot bubbles coming out of her nose, and hair's all messed up.
No, yes, she does look like that. No, she doesn't have a crush on Guy. She just doesn't want to have to get up and pee that many times in a night.
Yeah, maybe there was a crush before, but then she actually got to know him.
Yeah, that faded a while ago.
All right, yeah. So Guy, you go wake everybody up, and as you all come down
I
to
will
the
say
common
this
room,
too. You guys reacted to me like kicking Corwin out. Corwin would be used to it. Corwin knows me.
It stings every time.
How did Annelise react when I woke her up?
Annelise was actually already awake. When you went to go knock on her door and you say, Annelise, time to wake up, or whatever it is you say, she just goes, coming. And then the door opens just a few seconds after you knock on the door, and she is not in her armor yet, but she is dressed.
And I'll just say, oh, you did the pee thing?
No context.
She's like, what is with you and your associates and always talking about pee?
It's Mogram's bad influence on us.
Bad influence.
It's Mogram's influence.
Thank you. I'm just a very useful person who likes to make sure that I use all of the person for the experiments and things. I got a fetish, guys. It's just a fetish.
Honestly,
gosh.
Mogram, the way you said you used all the person, it makes me think, are there like bodies in your basement?
No.
He doesn't have a basement.
That's right. Oh gosh. All right. As you guys are down here in the common room, the innkeeper is up, and you can see that the cook is in the kitchen already getting some morning stuff sorted out. You've got some gruel or some like cream of wheat type stuff, some oatmeal, whatever, some kind of sloppy breakfast ready to
Made
go.
it extra sloppy for us because he knows we like it sloppy.
Exactly. And you are all sitting there in the common room as Neldor walks in. You see that Neldor, as he comes walking in, he is resplendent in his armor. He is wearing a breastplate. He's got a shield strapped to his back, but you can tell this is very, very well made. He's got like a circle. He's got like a gambeson underneath the breastplate, but it's like in the house colors of the Martin family. So there's like a burgundy and a gold.
Does it look like practical and well used, or does it look very like decorative?
You've been around enough to know that it is definitely practical, but it is also decorative, right? It's got filigree on it and stuff. It is definitely a warrior's breastplate. It's something you might see on like a general or something. So as he comes wandering in, you see that he actually has a sword at his hip, but he's got a spear in his hands. And he says, meow, good morning, I'm Rich. No, he comes into the common room and he says, good morning. Well, when you're done with breakfast, shall we be off?
Yes. I think we are ready.
Yeehaw, let's ride.
I thought we said we couldn't ride. We were going on foot, right?
Yes, where we're going, where I have a feeling they have made their base, it's through some dense woods, and mounts would just probably hinder us more than aid us.
That's good. I hate my horse anyway, so let's do this. No, it's fine. He just tries way too hard. He just tries really hard. He doesn't need to try. He's a show.
Wait a second. Your horse is a he, but his name is the Thundermare.
Yes. It's like because he thunders mares. You know what I mean? It's like he says it with a wink. It's real douchey.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's the equivalent in horse talk of Stormhoof Lady Killer or something like that, right?
Okay, yeah. Mogram, I think I hate your horse too.
Thank you.
This poor horse had no say in what his name is.
It's a horse. It doesn't even understand what we're saying about it. Jeez.
I've heard they're very perceptive. They probably are feeling Mogram's bad vibes.
Yes, they definitely read energies.
That's what Mary Kate and Ashley taught me.
Oh my gosh. As you guys are talking about horses, Annelise goes upstairs, and a few minutes later she comes back down in her scale mail. She's got her shield. She is ready to go as well.
All right, let's be off. I could not eat another bite of this sloppy gruel.
Oh, I'll finish yours.
Were you singing the song as you did that? Sloppy gruel, sloppy gruel.
Exactly.
I had a feeling that you were.
Actually, we had one thing we wanted to do first, and I'm going to look over at Mogram and I'm going to wink. I'm going to like motion my head over toward Ornan.
So, you guys are gonna hold him down then, or how do we want to do
No,
this?
you're supposed to sneak. Just do it now. Go.
I'm gonna inside check.
Jump over the table to try to grab Ornan. Oh, gosh.
Sylvie will also try to grapple Ornan.
Ornan got a 6 on his insight check.
Ornan has double your strength, guys. he can lift you up in one arm.
So it's a
Sylvie's
strength.
literally hanging off his stump.
Opposed acrobatics or athletics?
Guy got a 4.
Oh no. Oh
Ornan
no.
only got a 10.
Come on, Sylvie.
What did
I
Sylvie
have a
get?
-1 on that. Oh my gosh, a 13.
Yes.
Nice.
I must have like gotten in between your legs and like tripped you up a little bit.
Yeah, Guy went first and got punched in the nose.
Oh, I got a
Oh my
nat 20
gosh.
for a 19.
Markham
Nice.
just jumps
Oh
on
my
top,
goodness.
dogpiles us all.
As you guys are swarming Ornan, Annelise kind of goes to Neldor and she says, "Maybe we should wait outside." She takes him
All
outside.
right, guys, we haven't had a morning wrestle before.
This is
Hold up. Hold on. Hold him down. Down the hatch, Ornan. Here we go. And I pull out this file of some sort of...
my hatch. That's my pants.
up the hatch and around the corner.
He's not even over there anymore. He's got a napkin on his nose. He's bleeding.
So I pull out this black file of liquid that I'd been concocting and working on throughout the evening. This is an arcane phase disruption serum, and it's meant to kind of break his connection to whatever arcane curse or thing that might be afflicting him at the moment. So I kind of pour this on his face. Some of it gets in his mouth, some of it all over his face.
That's disgusting.
It's got licorice root.
Anise? You put anise in this? Oh, that's horrible.
And cardamom. And
Well, I can hold on. I think I can. Yes, I can taste the cardamom.
good. After doing that, I stand back and just kind of wait for a moment to kind of see if he has like a moment of clarity, and then we're gonna try to see if we can't like kick the sword away or something.
Yeah, what happens, Ornan? You do feel that break that the sword had over you. You feel that not only is that break there, but you recognize now that there was something wrong. You can sense now that it's gone, that something was there that was not that was malignant.
Oh dear. I'm not even trained in this weapon. Why am I? What have I been doing? And Ornan will toss it under the table. You guys can look at the magic items from here on out. I'm not touching them until I know what they do.
That's so wise.
Guy will go over with a napkin on his nose and just grab the sword and walk out onto the deck and just toss it into the river.
Well, that's just polluting, but
Now some poor fish is going to tune to that sword.
Oh, God. And then we're going to have to fight them. That's probably going to be the ultimate bad guy, is a fish with a couple of swords.
Oh my
Fish
goodness.
with a sword.
It's going to team up with Annelise, the Pope.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, so Ornan, you feel the absence of this curse. Suddenly you recognize that you were under a spell for like a week or more at this point. And now it's gone.
Oh dear, guys. I remember reaching for my other weapons regularly, but just never having them in my hands.
Well, at least now you can rest easier knowing that has been at least a little bit alleviated.
I appreciate that. I know I said I didn't. Last night I was upset about the intervention, but I'm glad you did it. I mean, the taste was horrid, but I appreciate it.
I'm still working on the taste.
If you're going for like a licoricey flavor, try fennel next time.
Anise is just a little too strong for my palate. I've just never been a fan.
Well, you know, it's the anise, I think, really helps to cover the taste of the arsenic that goes into it. So.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you were going to do a nephew joke.
Okay, to be fair, I was trying to find one and I could not find one. Oh gosh.
I'm like, oh, the anise is to cover the taste of that. And I'm like, oh, a nephew of the arsenic. And I was like, whoa, I was not expecting that.
Got much darker there.
Very good. All right. After you have been cleansed of this curse and the sword has been thrown in the river, you move out of the Northside Inn, and Neldor is waiting there with Annelise and says, if you wouldn't mind following me, we're going to head northeast out of the city.
Meow.
Yeah, I'm rich.
Ornan is spinning his war pick and just kind of grinning.
Nice.
Feels good in my hands again.
It's good to see you back to normal.
Yes, and now when I shout I'm gonna spin the shaft, I'll actually be spinning a shaft.
No, don't worry. It makes sense in context.
Oh, guys, look, there's a chicken, and it's the size of me. It's right there.
I've been
That would actually
okay, so
be terrifying.
There's chickens.
for all of our listeners, I've been playing around with tokens and making a lot of new tokens, and I've made a token of a chicken, and so there's now just chickens sometimes running around the maps for no reason. All right, you guys venture out of Martin's Rest. First off, I should mention that Martin's Rest, while it is against the river on its western border and kind of southwestern border, that the eastern side of the city is all walled in. So the city itself is kind of built up on a cliff that looks out over the river, and there is a wooden, like a thick log wall that is built all around the city, and that is also built on top of this bluff or this cliff. So as you exit the city, you actually head down towards the level of the river, and you venture out onto this plain, and you can see in the distance, probably about a mile or two away, the forest starts. The ground where the forest starts is a little bit more rugged and rocky, and Neldor points you in that direction and says, "We're headed there. That's where I think they've made their base."
Okay, rock and roll, let's do it.
As you are moving towards this forest, Neldor starts to kind of clue you in as to what he thinks the base is. He tells you that when he was a child growing up here, he used to go and explore with some of his friends. Sometimes his younger sister would come along. Sometimes even his youngest sister would come along. But there was this old abandoned fort about 8 miles from the city. So about a mile to the forest and then like 7 miles through the woods. And when he was like a teenager, they used to go out and actually like camp there and stay the night. He says it's relatively small. It's got like 2 towers and then a keep. It's more of like a border fort, but he says no one goes out there anymore, and it would be a very likely place to set up a base. It's out of the way, but still close enough to be able to get to the city easily within a few hours. And I can take you right to it.
Your younger sister's been there before. Is there a reason why she wouldn't have thought of this and taken the paladins there to investigate before us?
So, to be fair, Gwendolyn, she only came when she was 3 or 4. By the time she was old enough to go venture there herself, I was already a man grown, and I wasn't doing the childish things of my youth anymore. So, I don't believe that Gwendolyn even remembers that it's there.
But still, wouldn't you have mentioned it to her since the bandits are coming?
Well, no, of course not, because we don't want the paladins of Helm to take authority under themselves, right?
I guess that's true.
He kind of looks at you guys. He says, "Do I sound petty? Is this petty what I'm doing?"
I mean, she is your sister.
She's made her choice.
I don't, the petty doesn't come to mind, but I'd say maybe catty.
A little bitchy.
Meow.
No, it's very clear, and I'm trying to be diplomatic here. It's very clear you care a lot about your city, and you care about your family's standing and reputation and history in this city. So I don't blame you. It can come across a little bit like there's something else there, especially considering your sister's position in the Paladins of Helm.
I would like you to put yourself in my shoes, just for a moment. A foreign power has moved in to your home. And now the people who are supposed to protect you and follow the guidelines and the authority structure of the city have decided instead to follow this foreign power. And granted, it's all, and then he kind of does finger quotes, he says, it's all for the good of the area. But what happens when the leadership of the Church of Helm is not as benevolent as the leadership currently appears to be? Leadership and structure is put in place for the safety and success of the city as a whole.
Very convincing.
Thank you.
Fully convinced. My apologies, sir.
Well, nations and families come and go. Things change.
Money is forever. Let's get these bandits.
I have to admire her commitment. She knows what's important.
Oh, did we add the blood clause?
Well, I think we're getting a boat clause.
Yeah, and the blood clause is kind of a given with this.
Yes, the blood is implied.
I love blood.
Second favorite bodily fluid.
I can't wait to see what you do with blood.
Oh, you just wait until I start reaching level 7 and 8. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. All right. As you guys continue to move through the forest, it is a few hours of moving through the forest. You think like, 8 miles, if I'm walking 3 miles an hour, that's not going to take very long at all. But 7 miles through dense wood with occasionally there's a path that you can follow that you recognize, but most of the time it is overgrown with weeds and brambles and briars and other random words that mean the same kind of stickery bushes and things.
Synonyms.
Yes, there's other synonyms. It takes quite some time. After about 2 hours, you figure you maybe have gone 3.5, possibly 4 miles.
Wow. I can't believe you used to travel this as a kid. This is tough going.
Oh, it was an adventure. We were out to fight monsters and stake our claim and be warriors and fight dragons.
And make a fort.
Well, the fort was already there. But yes, as you move through the woods, I am going to have passive perceptions. I need passive perceptions from everybody.
It's a whopping 10.
Same, 10.
14 for Guy.
With my shield out, I've got a 24 for my passive perception.
Jeez.
Wow.
Okay. As you are moving through the woods, you are on part of a trail that you have been able to follow for the last 100 yards or so. And Mogram, with that shield out, suddenly you feel it start to like twitch on your arm, and something catches your attention a little bit down the trail and around the corner. And as you strain with your passive perception, you hear voices.
There are voices far down the trail, but up ahead.
Do they sound like bandits?
Neldor stops, and he looks at the 5 of you, and he says, "This could very well be the bandits that we're looking for. But the fort is still a few more miles on."
Well, they'll recognize you. Perhaps we go on ahead and chat with them.
Is that what you want to do? Do you want to go out and have a conversation? Should we sneak up on them, or should we rush them with force?
Or do we want to split the party and have a couple of us sneak up and a couple of us go forward and see how it goes?
I'm all about diplomacy if we can get away with it.
Yes, I mean, for me, the biggest question is, these are bandits, right? Why are they raiding? What is the thing that is causing this to occur? And I think we would need to speak with them in order to understand, because quite frankly, this sounds like it could be a socioeconomic issue. Those are a little bit complex. You could try to kill them, but at the end of the day, that might not solve the problem. So,
Yeah, Neldor, how are you treating the poorest in your community?
It's like, seriously, we're doing this now? They are right around the corner. If you want to speak with them, that's fine. I will hang back. But be careful.
I'll go ahead. I can do the talking if anybody wants to come with me. I don't think it would make sense for me to come out by myself. This isn't a place to travel alone.
I'll go with you, but I'll keep my my mouth closed. I'll let you do the talking this time.
Yeah, Sylvia will go with you
Somehow
as well.
I doubt that.
But I just hate if they tried to whack you, I'd have to bonk them,
I appreciate you coming.
All right, so the 3 of you, Ornan and Sylvie and Guy, are moving forward. Mogram, are you staying back with Neldor and Annelise?
yeah, I'll stay back with them.
Let me move you guys over to show you what is going on. As Ornan and Guy and Sylvie move through the woods, suddenly you come through a clearing. Let's not move anymore from where you're at. You can see ahead of you is a stream that is snaking through the woods as it heads north to south, and you imagine this stream will eventually veer off towards the river and connect in. But here, it looks like it is probably about 20 feet wide at its widest and maybe like 15 or 10 feet wide at its narrowest, but it is snaking through the woods. It's a little bit clear on either side, on either bank. You can see that there are a few, like 2 wooden bridges, one that's close to you and another one that's further up the stream that go across from the west side where you are on, across to the east side of this stream. and you see a gathering of people. You see that there are like 5 people standing on this side of the closest bridge, and they are talking. You can see that they are wearing woolen clothes. They've got cloaks pulled up. You see weapons, but nothing extravagant. You don't see a whole bunch of armor, maybe some leather here and there. Across the river from this closest bridge, you see that there are 2 more people who appear to be standing on either side of the other side of the bridge. They are either guarding or they are keeping a watch. As you approach, they spot you. You also spot further upstream by the second bridge that there are 3 more figures. They are all dressed similarly in rough-spun homemade clothing. As you approach, you are not attempting to be sneaky. Does somebody want to say something, or are you going to let them spot you?
I don't want to profile, but it looks like these might be bandits.
Or just poor people.
That one has the Will Scarlet vibe from Robin Hood.
And one of them up there with like some kind of a, almost looks like a metal pith helmet. That one, he looks like Flag from the Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. These are just random folk. You can see a smattering of weapons. You see a couple bows. You see that there is one guy who is like really, really like large and tough. It looks like he's got a big axe strapped across his back. He's barking at the other 4 around him. That's in the closest group to you.
Oh there, travelers.
As you call out, the conversation on this side of the bridge stops. You can see that everybody heard you. The people at the far bridge, they turn to look in your direction. The people on both sides of this nearest bridge, they are looking at you as well. I got to show you guys this. I decided to make another Evangeline Lily token.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Do we have a problem with these?
Oh my
Is this a
gosh.
problem? It doesn't feel like a problem.
She's amazing.
Yes, and she's very flattered, and she wants to date us.
Yes.
All of
She
us
actually
at the
told
same
me
time.
that.
She's been trying to make it work with filming Ant-Man 5 and being a guest on the podcast. So we'll make it work sometime.
Did they skip 4?
I didn't watch anything after Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, I mean, after the last one, it was bad enough that they're
Oh,
like, let's
that's-
skip 4, go
Yeah.
straight to 5, because,
All right, so this conversation stops, and the big man, the one who is brawny, has the big axe, he steps forward just a few feet. He's still a ways away. He's probably about 40 or 50 feet away from you guys, and he calls out and says, "Oh, what you doing in our woods?"
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize these were your woods. I was actually, we were journeying to see, we'd heard there was a ruined fort nearby and that it was a place to maybe camp and enjoy the nature of the area.
He looks around at everybody else. He goes, no fort up here. You got bad information. You should turn around.
Oh, what are you all doing out here? How's it going, everybody?
What's up, fellow kids?
Guys, this is going great.
Everybody,
You're amazing.
everybody kind of looks to this large man again, and he kind of looks back at them. And he turns back to you and he says, "No, you best be leaving. There's nothing up in here. This is all nothing up here for you."
Oh, okay. Are you all right? Is everything okay? Did we come in like a tense moment? Is there going to be a fight?
The big man, he kind of like folds his arm. He says, "I don't know. Is there?" The people behind him, some of them look to be like stepping up, like next to him, and others look to be kind of shrinking back a little bit more timid potentially. But it looks like at this point, on this side of the bridge, this closer bridge, you see that out of the 5 people, 2 of them have stepped up to flank this large man. And then 2, a man and a woman who look to be maybe not as heavily armed, they back up a little bit towards the bridge and move away from you guys.
Do they look to be like timid, like they don't want to be here, they're afraid, or are they like taking up a better position where they can start throwing spells at us?
Why don't you make a perception check or insight?
Oh, yeah, Ornan got a 7 insight.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm sure you guys are doing great.
I got a nat 1 for a 5.
Oh, no. Help us, Sylvie. You're our only hope.
Let's see.
Surely everything is going fine.
I got a 16.
Oh, nice. Okay, 16.
Oh,
Okay.
a 16 insight. Okay. So, Guy, I think with your 5 perception, your natural 1 perception, you haven't even clocked the fact that these two people are moving back away. So you wouldn't even think to wonder, like, are they taking a position or are they uncomfortable or what? Sylvie, with your 16, though, your insight, you get the distinct impression that all of these people are together, right? They're not like two different groups that are clashing or anything like that. You get the impression that everyone here is very uncomfortable with your presence. You do not get the impression that the two who are moving back towards the bridge are running scared.
All right. Well, I think Sylvia will just kind of whisper to Iggy and just say, be careful. I think that this is definitely who we're looking for.
Okay. What do I say? Hey, are you guys those bandits?
You're the one who wanted to diplomat.
I can ask him that if you'd like.
Yeah, Ornan, I think Ornan should just go up and say, kill yourselves.
Hey, your wife. Hey, I got a message from your wife that she's trying to kill your sister. Let's see how that works the second time.
Guy will totally take a page from Ornan because I have no idea what to say. But so Guy will say, "Oh, are you those bandits everyone's been talking about?"
The large guy and the two that are flanking him, they start moving closer to you, and then the large guy, he looks at you guys and he
Ornan
says,
is going to step closer as well to kind of mirror their movements and be not behind his group.
Got it. I would say also that when you guys come up here, Magram, you are close enough to be able to hear what's going on, especially with your shield. Neldor and Annelise may not be able to tell what's going on as well as you, but if something does go down, basically it'll take all your movement to get onto the map from where you're at.
Okay, that's fair.
Also, just for reference, I do want to say that this morning Sylvie did cast her mage armor. She kind of just does that as part of her routine. So
Nice. Okay.
hopefully I don't die.
The big guy comes up towards you. He's still not, and he's like within 30 feet of you. And he looks at you and he says, "So, are you here with the Paladins of Helm? Or are you here with the Martin family?"
Those paladins, those guys are they're kind of self-righteous, aren't they?
A little bit of squares if you ask me.
He's like, "Listen, nobody comes out here unless they mean to. So why are you out here?" And you see one of them kind of lean in towards him and start whispering something to him. And then he kind of puts his hand up to her and says, just a minute. And he turns back to you guys and he says, "Why are you here?"
Well, we passed the people of Helm, and we saw some of your friends, we assume, held prisoner, and didn't sit right with me, and I was curious to your side of things.
It's true. We're actually here to find you, but we didn't want to start saying, hey, we're looking for what you call bandits, but we call freedom fighters, just to the first people we saw in the woods.
He is going to think about it. I want a deception check from Guy.
Ooh.
It's a 25 deception.
Oh my gosh. He
Nice.
is going to make an insight check with advantage because he's getting help from everyone around him. He only got a 13. Well, what if I was to tell you that you found us?
Then I would tell you that we're interested in figuring out what all this is about, because I see some of the problems in Martin's Rest, and we were interested in seeing what we could do.
The problems in Martin's Rest are the problems everywhere. We're just doing something about it. The problems are those people living on the island, living high and mighty, while we have to scrape a living from the mud and the muck and break our backs just to put food on our tables. We're tired of it. We're sick of it. So we're taking what's ours.
Oh, are you from Martin's Rest?
Aye, born and raised.
Ah. It's kind of strange that nobody recognized you or realized who the bandits were if you guys are mostly from the area.
He doesn't know what to say about that, and I'll let you make an insight check as you look at him. Also, you notice that the two people who are flanking him, one is standing just like the guy is like got his arms folded. He's wearing like leather armor. He's got like a cudgel at his waist, and he's folded his arms.
He looks like Ethan Hawke with a beard.
Does he?
Kinda.
Yeah, kinda.
From zoomed out, he does.
I'll allow it.
He's got his arms folded. He is just like he is supporting this big guy. The woman who's on the other side of him, flanking him, she keeps like putting a hand out on his arm, trying to like calm him or to bring him back. You can tell, and he continues to talk. But as you ask him why nobody recognized him, what'd you get for your insight?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, he doesn't really know. He doesn't really respond, and you're not exactly sure how to read that body language. But he just says, "Are you looking to join us? Is that it?"
Sorry, I'm thinking of what to say. Like, yeah, we'll try diplomacy. I'll talk.
No, that's you don't think.
Oh,
You just say the first thing that pops in your head.
The guy who is standing flanking him, the one who's like folded his arms, standing next to this big strong dude, Ethan Hawke with a beard. He says, "Yeah, you here to help us? Get some of the money from those rich fat cats." No, he doesn't say fat cats. From those,
They're literally fat cats, though. Come
Only
on.
one.
Meow.
he says, "You want to help? You want to help us feed our families? Those people living on that island, they've got more than enough." And so now we're taking what's ours.
We're definitely not opposed to helping, but I think we would love to learn a little bit more about the operation and the goals of the organization before we sign a contract or sign on to anything.
And the targets, honestly.
Maybe we could have some tea.
The story going on in the village right now is kind of indiscriminate attacking and pillaging. But it sounds to me like you are specifically targeting the wealthiest.
Of course. Why would we attack our own?
I really want a boat, guys. Hey, Sylvie, I think they might be grouped close enough together for a fireball.
Well, I don't know that I could do that.
That's why I said Sylvie. I think she can.
Oh, yes, sorry.
I hella can. I've been itching to use it too.
I think the problem is a PR one. You're not controlling the narrative in the city. They all think that you're bandits, and the people aren't joining your side.
If you want to join us, you'd have to speak with Megan. I don't know that she's going to like us bringing you to our base. It seems too risky.
What if, we might have an in with some of the Martin people, and we could orchestrate a meeting of sorts with this Megan person and the Martins, and perhaps try to come
And
to
we
some...
kill him when we're in the meeting.
No, that's not what I was gonna suggest. Maybe we could look for a peaceful sort of arrangement.
As this conversation is going on, let's jump back into the woods, maybe like 40 or 50 feet behind, hidden behind some bushes. Neldor leans over to you, Mogram, and he says, "Do you hear anything? What are they saying?" And Mogram, you hear all of this.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking to them. They're trying to figure out, a little bit about how they might be able to resolve any of this potentially peacefully. I think they're trying to understand the motivations for the group, stuff like that. Typical peacekeeping, good, noble things.
Neldor says, "Peacefully? I thought this was a D&D campaign."
I was like, oh no, if we succeed with diplomacy, we're going to miss out on that blood bonus.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. He says, "Do you feel like, should we intervene?"
No, I mean, give them a second. Once the fireworks start, if you know what I mean, then we can start to intervene.
We're going to jump back now to Guy and Ornan and Sylvie. So, we are at a little bit of an impasse. The big guy, and most of the people here, you sense trust, or at least are willing to listen to you, but they don't necessarily have the authority to bring you in.
Maybe we could bring your leader out to meet us and we could just have a little picnic?
I don't think she'd like that.
Who doesn't like picnics?
I've got ale in my backpack.
Well, the big guy steps forward now. The other two have kind of stayed behind. They're kind of looking at each other. The big guy steps forward and he says, I tell you what. You head back to Martin's Rest, but tell us where you'll be. We'll go talk to Megan. And then, if she's interested, we'll come find you. How does that sound?
Kind of intimidating, if I'm being honest.
Sounds like a lot of waiting. We're already here.
Listen, you're asking a lot of me. Show you where we stay? Show you where we plan? Introduce you to our leader? You're asking a lot of me. I'm just asking that you trust us a little bit.
Hey guys, I'm sorry for saying diplomacy. We should have rushed in and just killed indiscriminately.
Well, we could wait right here. This is a nice little tree stump. Woohoo! I'm gonna plop my little booty on it.
Ornan just said he's going to plop his booty on a tree stump. Classic Ornan.
That's funny because normally plops come from booties.
Oh my gosh. All right. As you are talking with this guy, he turns around, starts heading back towards the other folks here on this side of the bridge. He opens his mouth to speak, and I'm going to have you guys now make a persuasion or deception check. One person has to do it with advantage.
Oh, man.
I'm not the one.
One person do persuasion or deception, and then tell me why you chose what you chose. Because if you said, I'm going to roll persuasion so that they come out here so we can kill them later, that would be deception.
Guy's going to make a deception check if that's okay with everybody.
Go for it.
We've been deceitful, even if we haven't been dishonest with what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, so Guy got a 26 deception. And the reason why I chose deception is because Guy still wants to bring these guys down, even if he maybe wants to temper the violence a little bit. But they're still breaking laws.
Also, we haven't really seen any evidence that, the townspeople support them.
Right.
So I'm a little suspect on that.
And you have heard that they are also very organized. This is definitely more organized than you would expect. I guess Neldor would have mentioned this as you guys were walking in. They are organized almost like a military is the wrong word, but some sort of I guess a military of some kind. They are very well organized.
Paramilitary.
Yeah, paramilitary, guerrilla tactics, that kind of thing. Okay, with your 26 deception, he rolled a natural 19. And with his insight, still not good enough to beat a 26.
Okay. Oh, man.
All right. I tell you what. You all wait here. We will disappear into the woods. Don't try to follow us. And if Megan wants to meet you, then she'll come and meet you. Deal?
That works for us,
Sounds
yes.
fantastic.
He steps forward and holds out a hand to whoever will take it.
Guy will shake his hand. He'll spit on it first because he saw it in a movie once.
Yeah. He's like, oh, gross. He pulls out a glove. Says, all right, I have your word, and on your honor, you won't break that word.
We will not try to follow you. We will stay here.
They reconvene, this group of 5, they reconvene, and then the other 2 that are across this near bridge, they come across and they're all talking. And after a few, maybe 30 seconds.
Fireball him now.
Well, I was just going to say, do we want to do an attack or?
The 2 who are on the near side of the bridge, they go back and they take their positions. You imagine these are some kind of sentries. One of these people, these women on the far side of this bridge, is a woman with a bow, an arrow, and she's got the arrow is knocked, but the bow's not drawn. The other is a woman who is wearing just a woolen robe with a hood pulled up, and they are standing on this far side of the bridge. As these 5 who were conversing here, the big guy and then his 4 other lackeys, they move across the bridge and leave. They go out of sight.
The Badlands. A truly God-forsaken place. You'd have to be crazy to leave the safety of Threed for its sands. Legend has it that beneath this blighted earth, something truly powerful lies dormant, calling out to any traveler brave or desperate enough to listen. One day, aboard a doomed train into the wastes, 3 strangers heed that call. A shape-shifting bounty hunter,
Stranger's gone by many names, friend.
a runaway socialite,
Okay, girl, well, you just did your mascara, so no more crying for today.
and a former thief turned family man.
I promise that I will be back, and I will do my absolute best to right you.
Will our runaways find what they're looking for?
I mean, we're already here. Let's have a little fun.
You really went in there, guns blazing.
I thought that was the plan.
My potions are miraculous.
I thought we were being quiet.
Oh, Stump only has 1 volume. Sorry.
Wild roses grow out of his mouth, having filled his lungs.
What's happening out there?
Violence.
Find out on Mage Hand High Five, the Badlands. And just between you and me, they ain't got a chance in hell.
Now, as you are standing here, you are sitting here on this log. Right now, there are 2 people on the far side of this close bridge, and then there are 2 people guarding the near side of the far bridge. If that is any more confusing, I apologize. What are you guys going to do?
Ornan's going to pour 3 cups of mycelium mead and go offer them all drinks.
There's 4 of them.
Oh, I thought there were only 3 left.
No, there's
2 on each side, right?
yeah, 2 at each bridge.
I didn't scroll up, sorry. 4 mugs of mycelium mead. I guess like small cups for him, and he'll go and offer each of them a drink.
Okay. You go up to the bridge. You go alone, Ornan?
I just started doing it. I don't know what everybody else is doing.
While you're pouring the drinks, though, I will say, now that they're gone, let's see if we can get the others to circle around and we can take them without having to kill them.
Oh, dear.
I think that's a good idea, at least, to have a backup plan.
That's the conversation Guy and Sylvie are having as Ornan moves across the bridge. As you approach the bridge with these cups in hand, these 2 women are standing there, and then the one with the bow, she kind of nods and motions you across.
All right, it's a little something special I brew. It's mycelium mead. I grow it in my basement. And,
Mycelium? Like mushrooms?
Yep, exactly. It's mighty tasty. It tastes a little bit like tequila.
The woman with the bow, she takes a sip. The woman who's just kind of wearing like a cloak, she shakes her head and says, "No, thank you. Now, if you would please go join your friends again."
Oh, I thought we might break bread and get to know each other, but I'll go back over there. That's fine.
Megan will decide if we can break bread.
Oh, all right. Well, about this Megan, is she from here?
Make a persuasion check, high difficulty.
All right, I'm not great at this, but I got a 9. I don't think I've rolled higher than like a 10 today, guys.
You can finally start using your war pick, and you're still not choosing to do it. So the woman in the cloak, she shakes her head and she says, "If Megan wants you to know where she's from, she'll let you know." And then the woman with the bow, she says, "All right, other side of the bridge with you."
Well, all right. I'll wave at you, I guess, since we won't be talking.
Okay. All right, Sylvie and Guy. Mogram, you heard everything happen, and Neldor is Neldor couldn't hear the conversation, but he can tell that the conversation has ended. So Neldor leans to you and he says, "What happened?"
I think they're going to try to get the leader to meet with them, which might be great because, if we're going to waylay them, then we might be able to get them all in one fell swoop, which is great.
You see him nod and think about it for a second. He's like, "Yeah, that could be very good. It could also be very dangerous to get them all in one place.
Maybe.
There's a lot of them."
Yeah, but there's a lot of us. Look how big my muscles are.
While that was going on, Mogram, you would get a message from me as I pull out my book and just start writing in it that says, "On my mark, take Neldor and Annelise north. There's a bridge just slightly northeast of us. You take those 2 guards, and we'll take the 2 on our bridge. Wait for my signal."
How do I send them a thumbs up emoji? I don't know how to do that here. Yes, Guy, I will do this thing that you said.
All right, then
Yes,
what I'm
I will
going
do
to
this thing that you said.
I'm going to need then. Are you guys going to start moving into position now at this point?
I think Guy and I should still be casual. I also have telepathy, so I can like send somebody a message if we need to like communicate with anybody in eyesight.
Okay.
Guy and Sylvie are totally casual. I mean, honestly, both of us can jump a lot closer as needed in the heat of the moment. I just wanted to get the other party going at the 2 to the north so that we don't have any runners.
Let me check real quick. Magram, do you clue in everybody as to what you guys are going to be doing?
Yeah, I think I will kind of, in accordance with what Guy recommended, we'll start kind of getting into position.
Okay, as you tell them that you guys are going to start moving, Annelise looks down at her scale mail. She's like, I don't know how silent I can be moving through the woods, but if this is what you think is best, I'll follow your lead.
I mean, I guess we wait for him to make the signal, and then we can rush into position. But maybe we'll stay just a little ways back still.
Okay, so I guess I'm trying to figure out are you moving closer to them, or are you going to stay put right where you're at? Because if you're going to start moving in any way closer to the people, we're going to have to start making some checks, even if it is with advantage because of distance.
I think we, he said on his mark. I think we'll stay put until Guy tells us otherwise.
Okay. How long do you guys want to wait?
I want to lull them into a false sense of security. So maybe 30 minutes, again, knowing that it was another couple miles to the fort.
Yeah, you know that probably to get to the fort, it was still going to be another couple of hours to get to the fort, and then it would be a couple hours back. So you might have a long ways to wait. And it is at this point like noon. After about a half an hour, what are you doing?
I will say to Ornan, all right, it's now or never. Let's see if we can't get the jump on them. You want to offer them another drink to go with their lunch?
Well, I didn't go and offer any to those up there on the north side of the river, so I'll walk that direction.
Wait, no, I was going to send Magram up that way.
Well, you tell me where you'd like me to go. And I won't be taking any lives today. I'll make that clear.
No, that's the plan.
All right.
But we do have to make him bleed.
All right. Why don't you go offer them a drink, and Sylvie and I will, once you're up there with them, Sylvie and I will come to your aid. Sylvie, can you send a message to Magram? T-minus 1 minute.
Magram, get into position. We're striking in about 60 seconds. Over and out.
Oh, it's go time.
Neldor pulls out his spear, gets his shield ready. Annelise kind of shakes herself a little bit, has her mace in her hand, and has her shield ready. She says, all right, lead the way.
All right, let's go.
I am going to need stealth checks from Magram, and then also from Neldor and from Annelise. Annelise will make this with disadvantage.
Magram also makes this with disadvantage too. Ooh, but I did okay. I got a 17.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, so did Annelise.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Now let's see how Neldor does.
Neldor has a breastplate,
Oh my
right?
gosh!
Yeah, let's
Oh my
go.
goodness.
He's a cat.
So what are the
Let's see
scores,
what's-
Paul?
Yeah, what are the
Magram,
rolls?
what did you roll?
So with disadvantage, I got a 17.
With disadvantage, Annelise, she got an 18, and Neldor, he got a 20.
I love it.
So you guys are moving through the woods, and you guys are super silent. I'm going to move you guys up this way a bit.
We are the silent but deadly.
Oh dear, I can smell you from here.
You guys head north a bit, and you get to a point where there's like a cliff that goes up about 15 feet or so. There's trees up on top of it. This is just some of this rocky ground, this rugged terrain. And then as you move closer, you can now see, I think you can see, there might be a tree in the way, actually. There is a tree in the way. Also, the tree is kind of make it a little bit darker in here, so it's a little bit harder to see anyway. With the cloud cover and all the rain that's been going on over the last, week, it does have a very like a dark, foreboding feel here in the woods. But you move into position, and you can see, Magnum, from where you're standing, 2 figures standing on the near side of this northernmost bridge that crosses this snaking stream. You see a woman with a bow, and you see a man with a bow. They are nonchalantly looking south towards your allies, but they don't appear to be on alert. So you are in position, Magram. What is Sylvie, Guy, and Ornan doing?
We'd be waiting on Ornan to see how close he can get to those guards before we act. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak for you, Sylvie.
No, that checks out. I was going to, as soon as he started fighting, Misty Step and get into it. Maybe knock him into the river if I could.
Okay, Ornan, why don't you make a persuasion check as you start to move across the bridge, holding out your cups.
Can I do deception instead?
Yeah, you can, for sure.
Because I have advantage on deception.
And I guess
rolls.
You are being deceitful.
Yeah.
Or deceptful.
Deceptful. I got a 12 deception. I've got more mycelium meat. I know you turned me down before.
The one who took it before, the one with the bow, she's like, yeah, that was pretty good. And then the one in the cloak, she shakes her head and says, no, stay on your side of the bridge, please. Now, I think it's time. We are all going to roll initiative.
Ooh.
Woo.
Please, my body is ready.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Guy got a nat 20 for a 22.
Ornan got a 6.
Sylvie got a 21.
Magram got a 19.
All right. We are going to jump up to the top of the initiative order. Let's just describe what's going on. On this west side of this snaking stream, we have, in the south, we have Guy and Sylvie at the very southern, westernmost edge. And then a little bit further east at the base of this bridge, we have Ornan. And across that bridge, we have a woman with a bow, and we have a woman in a cloak. Further north, on this near side of this bridge, we have a woman with a bow and a man with a bow. And in the woods, we have got Magram, Neldor, and Annelise. And at the top of the initiative, we have Guy.
All right, Guy will walk forward 30 feet and say, what's the matter? Don't they want the mycelium mead? And as soon as he's within that 30 feet, he's going to pass between with a bonus action right next to this southern archer.
Okay.
And he's going to... Yeah, he's going to do... he's going to pull out that fan, and he's going to cast Gust of Wind.
Oh my!
A line of strong wind 60 feet long and 10 feet wide blasts from me in the direction I choose for the spell's duration. That's a minute concentration. And then, so each person in that line will have to make a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet. The saving throw is a strength 13 saving throw.
Oh! With a natural 17, the archer manages to stay standing, but you would have blown her right over the bridge and into the water.
That was the plan, but it did fail.
Okay. Sylvie, that is your turn with your initiative 21.
All right. Sylvie is going to step up towards this woman on the south bank that Ornan was talking to, and then is going to Misty Step up by her and try to use a thunder wave to knock her into the river while also missing Ornan.
Is thunder wave, that's a cantrip?
Oh, I always forget that because it's not. So no. So I'm stepping, so I guess I will not do that. I will just cast Mind Sliver at the archer that Guy just tried to blow off the bridge.
Okay, fantastic. So intelligence save, difficulty 15?
15, yeah.
All right, that's a failure. How much damage?
All right, 9 damage.
9 damage to her brain as she reaches up and grabs her head. Ah! Magram, it is your turn. You are further north, moving out of the woods. You can see these other bandits here to the north guarding this second bridge. They are starting to react and look south towards what is going on with your allies, but none of them have been able to react yet.
Here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to move forward, the 30 feet that I can, or at least, I'm actually going to move forward just like maybe 10 feet.
Okay.
Just up here next to a tree. And first thing I'll do is yell out, "Come on, Hinky Punk, we've got some work to do." And I will bring out the Hinky Punk and drop it. Ooh, I can do it 60 feet. We're going to drop it next to the far guard who's near the bank of the water.
All right, yeah, the guy with the bow.
So we'll send it to him, and then the girl guard that's a little bit closer to me, we're going to pull out a white phosphorus capsule and chuck it at her. She'll need to do a DC 15 dex save.
All right, DC 15 dex save. That's going to be a 4.
Okay, so this does 13 damage.
Nice. Oh, she is wrecked. She looks so hurt.
Great. That makes me happy. And then Hinky Punk will go and attack the archer.
Okay.
Woo, go Sovereign!
Sovereign's Hunger.
Sovereign's Hunger is going to go ahead and attack. A 25 to hit.
That will hit.
8 force damage.
Oh, he is already looking bloodied.
Great. Okay.
Dang it, these guys are way weaker than I thought. I wouldn't have wasted Gust of Wind.
So, Magram, is that your whole turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. We are now moving down to these two figures who are guarding the bridge to the south. They actually have initiatives close to each other. They are both surprised. And we're going to move right past the archer as well as the woman in the cloak and the other woman with the bow up to the north. And we are now to Neldor. Neldor is going to charge out of the bushes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And move up to the woman by the north bridge. And that is his whole turn because he had to dash. We are now going to go to the archer who was just hit by the Hinky Punk. And he is surprised as well. Ornan, it is your turn.
So Ornan is going to run across the bridge, and if she can do an attack of opportunity, Ornan's going to run past the archer and get opposite the cloaked woman.
She does not have a melee weapon in her hands, so she cannot get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, so then Ornan is going to take his attack against the robed woman, his first one. Just feels so good to have his warhammer in his hands.
It feels good.
He might even forget to do non-lethal damage.
And he's going to attack. The first one is a 16 to hit.
As you strike out and you hit this woman in this cloak, you see a flash of light, like there is some kind of magical protection on her, but your hammer does go past it. It has bypassed this magical armor that she has.
Oh, she has half my armor too.
That one will deal 8 bludgeoning damage, and Ornan is going to use part of his crusher feat, and he's going to push her 5 feet into the river away from him.
No save, right?
No save.
Splish splash.
She falls into the water. The water is relatively deep and cold. Anything else you want to do, Ornan?
Ornan is going to move to the edge of the river and strike at her one more time.
Okay.
No body count, but we'll knock her out while she's submerged.
No, okay, I won't do that. Ornan's gonna take one of his war hammers, his light hammers, and he's gonna throw it at the archer.
Okay.
For a 13 to hit.
That will miss.
Ah! My hammer! It splashed in the water!
Hey, while you're in there, can you get my hammer?
And that'll be his turn.
Okay, perfect. And then Annelise's turn. She is the last one to go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She moves out so she can now get a clearer view of what is going on. She sees these two archers to the north. She sees the Hinky Punk. She is going to avoid the Hinky Punk. She's going to point at the archer, the one that was totally just destroyed by Magram. And she's going to point at her and yell out a word in Celestial. The translation, Magram, you can understand this, is purge. And you see a flash of divine light, and she has to make a wisdom save and fails, and she is now going to take max damage, 12 radiant damage, and this woman that Neldor was about to attack instead falls down just totally immolated and burned from this radiant energy.
Nice.
I forgot to tell everybody in the other team to try to spare their lives.
All right, we're back then.
Margram's like, kill them all right.
So yeah, you literally spare them all or steal their soul with your hinky punk. All right, we are back to the top of the round. Surprised conditions are gone. Guy, it is your turn. You are standing by this southern archer. What are you going to do?
So I read the thing wrong. She was actually supposed to make her save on her turn. It's whoever when they begin their turn in the thing. But anyway, I'm going to keep the air pointed toward the archer south of me, and I'm also going to attempt a non-lethal attack with this fan in my hand.
Ooh, okay.
Haven't done a melee attack for a while. 24 to hit.
That will hit, yes.
Only 5 non-lethal slashing damage.
Non-lethal slashing. Of course, you know. All right, very good. All right, Guy, so you have that going, so she's going to have to make a save again, this time on her turn. Anything else you want to do, Guy?
No, I'm just going to stay there, and if she tries to move out, I'll draw an attack of opportunity, so I'll be there.
All right, sounds good. All right, Sylvie, it is your turn. You have this archer just to the north of you, and you have this this cloaked woman with the mage armor, with Pahofma armor, in the water about 10 feet south of you.
Man, she does look cool. Sylvie is going to... She is actually this time going to cast that Thunder Wave on the archer that's still on land.
Yes.
She's only going to cast at first level, though. I don't want to, kill her. I just kind of want to knock her into the water. But that is a 15 con.
I just realized, guys, we're all assuming these people don't swim.
So she had a natural 19, so she's going to save. She's still going to take the damage, but how much damage is she going to take?
It was 7, so 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay. All right. Anything else that Sylvie wants to do?
No, for now, I think that's it. I don't want to do anything too suspect.
Okay. All right. Then, Magram, it is your turn.
Okie dokie.
Up here to the north, the woman with the bow, she is no longer living. You can see that basically sin has been purged from her incredibly painfully. But the archer a little bit further to the east, he is still standing, even though the hinky punk has tried to swipe his soul.
Yeah, let's start with the bonus action. Have hinky punk go ahead and see if he can yank the soul clean out of this guy.
Okay.
A 24 to hit.
Yes.
Or 7 force damage.
Oh my gosh, this guy is hanging on by a thread. You can see little wisps of soul starting to come out of this guy. And he's like, "Oh, my soul! Put it back! Put it back!" All right, Magram, that is your bonus action. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, we'll go kind of to the middle of the pass, just next to Neldor. Meow.
Neldor Meowton.
Meowton?
Meow. His name is Neldor Martin, but yeah.
So I'll go down to here, and then tell me about the guy that Guy is fighting. How's he doing?
The Guy is fighting this woman down here with the bow. She actually looks like she's pretty sturdy. She's got better armor on than the rest of them, but she has just a bow in her hands. She is currently trying to fight against this blast of wind that Guy has sent her way.
Has she taken damage yet?
Yes, she has.
Okay. Magram's gonna pull out his hand crossbow and launch a Hemexton Venom Dart at her.
Okay.
And she'll need to make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
That will be a failure.
16 damage.
Ooh, holy cow. Dang, with a cantrip. Yeah, she's looking hurt. She's hurting. She's not bloodied yet, but yeah, it definitely has some damage done to her.
Yeah, so that opened up her wounds, and her wounds are now bleeding profusely.
Okay. Gross.
That's it.
Awesome. All right. That is now going to be that archer's turn. First thing she has to do is make a strength saving throw. Difficulty 13, you said?
Yes.
Oh, she rolled a 13. So she is barely hanging on.
Oh, she doesn't have a negative to her strength?
She has a +0 to her strength. So she barely holds on.
Not like a player character who always dumps strength when you go dex.
What?
No.
What's wrong with that?
No.
That's how you play the game, I think.
My dump stat was intelligence.
So she is still standing. All right. So now it's her turn. She is going to move out of the blast of wind. 5, 10, moving out of your threat range.
I will take an attack.
15, 20.
That's another 24 to hit with the fan.
That will hit.
6 slashing damage.
All right. So she's going to take 6 more damage. She now does look like she is bloody. But as she moves further away, she's starting to move up the trail in the same direction that the other members of this group left about a half an hour before. And she's going to turn and aim her bow at you, Guy. She is going to take 2 shots, and she gets a +6 to these rolls. So the first one is a 21.
That will hit, yeah.
Okay. And she's going to add 10 with her eagle eye.
Oh, jeez, I
her
hate
archer's
this.
eye. She's going to add a d10.
She's Yastin.
So here's a d8 plus d10. That is going to be 12 plus 4. That's going to be 16 damage with the first shot.
Okay, let me make a constitution save to see if I keep the gust of wind going. That's only a 4, so the gust of wind is gone. What a worthless use of a level 2 spell.
Well, it was, but it's from an item, so it doesn't really matter that much. And then she's going to take a second shot at you. This one is going to be, that's a 25 to hit.
Will hit, yep.
And she's going to use her archer's eye again, the second one she's got, and that's going to be 16 damage this time.
And just like that, Guy is like to a third of his health left.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Oofda.
Took 32 damage, guys.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. This fight was going to be a lot different when everybody was here. But you guys got skeleton crew. Okay, that is her turn. And now we're going to go to this woman who is in the water. Ornan, she is within your threat range, but she is going to move 5, 10, which is going to be swimming 5 feet away, and then climb out on the far side using all of her movement. But she did leave your threat range if you want to make an attack.
All bonker, I guess.
You don't have to.
That is a nat 1, so I think she's just really low in the water. Like I couldn't get to her easily.
Sure.
Yeah, your heart's not in it. We know.
Sure, that's got to be it.
It's Evangeline Lilly.
Oh my gosh. All right. As she turns around, she points at you, Ornan, the person who has been bonking her, and you see her say some magic words, trace a little symbol in the air, and this green arrow appears and shoots across the stream right at you. She is going to try to hit you with an acid arrow. Let's see if she can. That's 17 plus 4. That's a 21. Does that hit?
A 21 will hit.
All right. That is going to be 4d4 acid damage. That's 13 acid damage. Plus, you are going to take more on your turn.
Oh, man.
Good call on the diplomacy first, guys.
That is her turn. Well, I mean, hey, you guys would have had a lot more people to fight.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, this was a solid plan.
Yeah. As we move down the initiative order, we have a dead archer, and now we have Neldor. Neldor, seeing the hinky punk, is a little bit taken aback, but he is going to rush in and attack at this last archer with his spear, making 2 attacks. And the first attack is a natural 20. This archer has 1 hit point left. Let's just see how bad this gets. That's only going to be 10 damage, but that is enough to skewer this last archer to the north. The north is now clear, this northern bridge, and with his next attack, he's actually, let me do the measurement.
Damn, the reserves are really crushing us, guys.
I know, right?
Yeah, the skeleton crew is really doing damage.
Okay, so he's gonna hurl his spear with disadvantage. So he gets a 16, which is enough as he hurls this spear across the stream, barely, but that is going to be then, max damage. That's going to be 10 more damage to this archer.
Oh, nice.
Who is now hurting even more. All right, Neldor is done. It is now going to be Ornan Opalbleacher's turn. You have got a spellcaster on the south side of this stream. You've got an archer further north of you.
Ornan is going to run up to the archer, because I'm worried that she's running the direction of the people that fled, and I'm going to attack at the archer.
Okay.
The first one is an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Dealing 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. She's looking rough.
Then he's going to come back with the pick side for a 17 to hit.
That will hit, yes.
Dealing 13 piercing damage.
Oh my gosh. Oh, she is barely hanging on. She is looking so rough.
Oh,
you can see
man.
like she's bleeding from multiple wounds. She looks at you and she curses you. Dog of the Martin family.
I thought they were cats.
You poop mouth.
Got poop coming out of your mouth.
Yep, that'll be my turn.
Okay. We're now going to Prelate Annelise. She sees what has been happening here on the other side of the stream, down further. She sees there's a spellcaster and an archer. She is obviously going to be going towards the spellcaster. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And she is going to let loose with another purge. As she, that sounds really deep. Purge. That sounds really terrible. She yells out in Celestial, and the word she yells out is purge. And then another flash of radiant light is going to hit now at this spellcaster, who must make a wisdom save. And I think she might save. No, she fails. And then it's going to be, 4 damage to this spellcaster, who now looks bloodied. And that is going to be Annelise's turn. We are going to move back to the top of the round. Round 3, Guy, it is your turn. You have an archer just maybe like 20 feet from you, who is looking incredibly rough. And you have a spellcaster south of you across the stream.
All right, Guy is going to say, Ruptis, and send one at the archer and one at the mage.
Okay.
So the blue orb is going toward the archer. It's a 17 to hit.
That will hit.
For 13 force damage.
What does that look like as you knock this archer off her feet?
Oh, I was kind of going for, like, you know how in the movies you can hit somebody in the head and it knocks them out and it's silly and fun? Well, this caves in her skull.
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
Oh my gosh. That's not fun at all.
Which is honestly more likely.
I can't pull punches with spells.
I thought we said non-lethal.
I'm sorry, I forgot I couldn't pull punches with spells. And then for the Amber Crow, is going to go out toward the mage.
Okay.
And that's a 26 to hit for 12 force damage.
And what does that one look like?
That one goes right through her eye and explodes her head.
Oh my god!
Yay!
I'm
my
sorry,
gosh.
guys. I didn't mean to kill them. I don't know what's happening today.
Oh, that was very violent.
As you stand by this stream in the middle of the woods, as it courses its way south towards the river, you are surrounded by the death and carnage of these thieves, these bandits, these ruffians who have been attacking Martin's Rest. Blood and gore everywhere, and we are going to cue victory music.
Yay, we did it.
I mean, yeah. Woohoo, everyone. Good job. Hey, this was just a dry run. Next time.
I don't know, it seems pretty wet right now.
They're probably going to want to work with us more now that we've killed their friends.
Next time, let's try to take some prisoners, okay?
I thought that was the plan.
It was the plan, but then they started to run and fight back. And they can swim. Who said they could swim?
I thought the river was flowing a little faster. I thought she might be swept down.
It's like a stream.
It is stream.
It's straight up Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, it's over my head, but I guess that's not even to her waist.
I say we shove them in the river.
After we loot them. Well,
we got to put rocks in them too, right?
Yeah, we got to
I
put
hope
rocks
we
in the
have time
bodies.
for that. I hope in the stream will carry it away.
Hey, Sabrina, there's always time for rocks and bodies.
You gotta do it right.
Do we need to play that song again? Okay. As you guys are standing over these dead bodies, what do you guys want to do? These bandits, I mean, you know that eventually, probably, that the other bandits are going to come back, but you have hours before that is likely to happen. What are you guys going to do?
they have ill-gotten booty that we probably should reclaim.
We should also think of a cover story.
They slipped.
I think we should just move a little further up the path and set an ambush for the returning party. We should be ready for either Megan and her whole entourage or just those other 4 to come back and say, no, we can't have a meeting. But either way, we can ambush them before they get to these bends in the river, or somewhere along the path, just a little further north.
You know, Guy, your perception check was really bad at one point, so you do think that there were 4, but everyone else knows that there were actually 6 people who left.
Yeah, what about diplomacy option again, guys?
I mean, I think it might be out the window at this point.
We could say another bandit group came in and killed those guys. I was just hanging around.
They were competing bandits. They came in and said that your bandit crew is doo-doo heads, and that they were a better bandit crew.
Look, we got 4 eyewitnesses here. Or I guess actually 6.
I swear. Remember when we shook hands? I swear.
It wasn't us. We swear it was somebody else. And these other 3 people who came, it wasn't them either.
We're like covered in gore and ichor and wiping the blood off of our weapons. What?
Oh, man.
Somebody else. They just missed them. They ran in here.
One of them has been burnt. 2 of them have been burned to one of them has been burned to a crisp by radiant energy, and another one has had their soul sucked from their belly button.
And then one had their skull caved in, and the other one had their skull exploded.
Wasn't me.
How did that happen?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Here's what I'll do. Okay. I will send Prancival about 100 yards north along the path and into the bushes, and to like act as a little bit of a scout, early warning in case anybody shows up while we're trying to figure out what to do with these bodies.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Prancival's going to move up the trail a little bit in the direction that the other folks have left. All right, you've got 4 dead bodies. You've got 3 who have longbows and quivers of arrows. The one on the south side looks to be wearing better armor. She is actually wearing... She's got studded leather armor on, and then she also has a short sword at her waist. The other 2, they are just wearing regular leather, like pieces patched together of leather armor, and they each have longbows and they each have daggers. The person on the far side of the stream, the magic user, she is wearing some woolen cloaks and things to keep warm in the rain and in the cold weather, and she just has a dagger at her waist. But you do find coin purses on all 4 of them, and between the 4 of them, you manage to find 49 silver.
All right.
Woo, we're rich.
Do we have to split that with Annelise and...
Certainly not with Neldor.
As far as you guys continue, though, to look kind of through what they have on them, Ornan, as you are kind of searching through the archer, the more beefy one, the one who's wearing studded leather armor, you do find in her pouch that she does have like a little piece of paper with some instructions written on them, or potentially written by herself to herself. It's like a little note, and the note says, "Stay out of the basement. It's haunted."
Ooh.
Always love to remind myself of those kinds of things.
Yeah. I don't think I would forget if I went into a haunted basement, but, other people can be forgetful too.
Well, it may have been given to her by somebody else as well.
That is ridiculous.
No, we don't know that she wrote it to herself. It could have been given to her by, like, hey, I know you're new here. Here, just a little word of warning.
Thank you for the benefit of the doubt.
This is clearly in her handwriting, and it has her name signed on the bottom.
You're testing her handwriting by putting a pen in her dead hand and then making it write the same words. All right. Very good. All right, so that's what you managed to find. What are you going to do with these bodies?
In the river.
Okay, you toss these bodies into the stream, and the stream starts to drag them downstream. Eventually it will feed out into the river a little bit further south than Martin's Rest. So the likelihood of any of these bodies actually kind of flowing past the city are very, very slim or non-existent.
Oh, also one more thing I forgot to say. A ghost spirit lady pops out of one of the bodies.
Oh dear.
It's her again. Hey, everybody. This is Ghost Spirit Lady. Annelise.
That seems pretty normal to me. I don't know.
Hey, GSL.
Neldor.
You see this figure floating up from the dead mage, the dead magic user. Before you toss her into the river, you see this spectral woman. Because she only lasts for like a minute, right?
No, she lasts till I take a long rest.
Oh my gosh. That's right. You see her float across the river towards you, Guy. And you can see her trying to speak, over and over again. To speak to you.
Hello. It's good to see you again.
It looks like you know how when you're in water and like your hair is kind of moving slow as you move. Her whole robe or dress is moving kind of slowly as if she's moving through water, and she kind of shakes her head. You see her hair moving slowly, and then she kind of looks like she gets a little frustrated, and then she just, with one finger, points down at the book at your waist. All right. What are you guys going to do now as you await the coming of the bandits with their leader, Megan?
Do you like the idea of setting up an ambush a little further north?
I do, but I think we should try to orchestrate a conversation between this Megan person and the Count here. If they have legitimate grievances, I think they have the right to have him heard.
I agree. How does Neldor feel about it?
Neldor speaks up and he says, I'm not paying you for a conversation. They've been terrorizing my people, and they need to be brought to justice. This was a very good beginning. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight.
Jeez. Hey, this honestly isn't the worst a plan has ever gone, though.
Honestly, I think it was good overall.
Guy did almost die from one round of shots from an archer.
I am hurting.
Yes. Oh, man. That was fun, guys. Yeah, that fight could have been very, very different. I actually had all of the stat blocks for everybody who was there initially, and there was like 7 different stat blocks before I got to you guys or your allies. So that would have been a very different fight. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for playing. Thank you all for listening. I'm very excited to see what happens as our heroes move further into the woods towards this fortress that Neldor has been telling them about. And don't forget, we have a Patreon. If you want more content, you can go listen to our after show, Your Neighbor's Potatoes. Also, go leave us a rating and a review. It really helps us. I would love to read your really ridiculous name on air. So go leave us a review, a glowing review, and 5 stars. Unless it's like a different review, then like 8 stars if it's out of 8, or 10 if it's out of 10. Whatever the case, give us those top marks.
Max stars. Be like Fiscal Dave.
Yeah, all the stars.
Yes, come on. Be like Fiscal Dave. And which, by the way, we do have an AI-generated image of Fiscal Dave at this point. So we hope we're right with our guess. Anyway, until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time.